Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hari Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय ओ निताय गौरंग बोलो निताय गौरंगा निताय 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 गौरंगा जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन ओ जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरे पतित पावन गौर हरे गौरा 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 हरे ओ जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरे जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Thy God, Haribo, 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 Haribo. All glories assemble devotees, all glories assemble devotees, all glories assemble devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from text 9 of Canto 10, chapter 60. Krishna teases Rukmini. Tam rupinim shriyam ananyagadim ya leelaya dhritatanor anurupa rupa pritah smayan alaka kundala nishkakantha vaktro ullasat smita sudham harir abhabhase. Put it up. Please repeat text 9. Tam rupinim shriyam ananyagadim nirikshaya ya leelaya dhrititanor anurupa rupa pritah smayan alaka kundala nishkakantha vakro ullasat smita sudham harir abhabhase. Gadim nirikshaya ya leelaya dhritatanor anurupa rupa pritah smayan alaka kundala nishkakantha vaktro lasat smita sudham harir abhabhase. Tam, her, Rupinim, appearing in person. Shriyam, the goddess of fortune. Ananya, having no other. Gatim, goal. Nirikshya, seeing. Ya, she who. Leelaya, as his pastime. Dritha, of him who assumes. Tanoho, bodies. Anurupa, corresponding. Rupa, whose forms. Pritaha, pleased. Smayan, smiling. Alaka, with locks of hair. Kundala, earrings. Nishka, neck, ornament. Kantha, on her throat. Vaktra, face. Ullasat, bright and happy. Smita, smile. Sudham, nectar. Hare, Lord Krishna. Abhabhase, spoke. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. As he contemplated her, the goddess of fortune herself, who desires only him, Lord Krishna, smiled. The Lord assumes various forms to enact his pastimes, and he was pleased that the form the goddess of fortune had assumed was just suitable for her to serve as his consort. Her charming face was adorned with curling hair, earrings, a locket on her neck, and the nectar of her bright, happy smile. The Lord then spoke to her as follows. Purport. Sridhara Swami has quoted an interesting verse spoken by Sri Parashara in the Vishnu Purana. Devatve devadeheyam manushyatve cha manushi Vishnur dehanurupam vai karoti eshatmanastanum. When the Lord appears as a demigod, she, the goddess of fortune, takes the form of a demigoddess. And when he appears as a human being, she takes a human-like form. Thus the body she assumes matches the one Lord Vishnu takes. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti adds that as Lord Krishna is even more beautiful than the Lord of Vaikuntha, Lord Krishna, consort Rukmini, is even more attractive than the goddess of fortune in the Vaikuntha world. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatana Vitamatang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Wishing you all a very successful Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. As many of you are doing nirjala upavas without drinking water, or some are doing by eating fruit alone, or some are doing sajala, or some are doing in whatever way they can. Since today is Ekadashi, we are trying to remind ourselves of Krishna and his pastimes, which is very, very important. And we have just randomly picked up this from the 10th canto. Krishna teases Rukmini. So in this verse that we chanted, Krishna is admiring Rukmini. He is seeing how beautiful she is and how nicely she has formed herself. Although she is Lakshmi, she is matching me in my Leela, in my avatar. And she has taken a very beautiful form. And he is thinking about that. And then he also gets an idea in him. That is the next shloka. Rajaputripsa bhupair lokapala vibhutibi mahanubhavai srimadbhi rupaudharya balorjitah. The Supreme Lord said, my dear princes, you were sought after by many kings as powerful as the rulers of planets. They were all abundantly endowed with political influence, wealth, beauty, generosity, and physical strength. Since your brother and father offered you to them, why did you reject the king of Chedi, that is Shishupala, and all those other suitors who stood before you, maddened by Cupid? Why, instead, did you choose me, choose us, who are not at all your equal? So, like the chapter says, Krishna teases Rukmini. A series of comments Krishna will make. And they are very deeply intelligent comments. They are comments made by many people in this world who are against the supremacy of God, of Krishna. So he will say all those things. And he will say that, knowing all these things, why did you marry me? And it seems that this is occurring at a time when already Rukmini is quite old. She already has children and her children have children. It's not that he just married Rukmini, just kidnapped and came. It is happening at a time when she is quite old. After so many years of married life, suddenly he is asking her like this question. And these questions are very interesting. I'll read some more. Terrified of those kings, O lovely browed one, we took shelter in the ocean. We have become enemies of powerful men and we practically abandoned our royal throne. You know, I am such a coward. I got afraid of all these big kings and built in the ocean a place called Dwaraka and I'm hiding there. You know, I am afraid of all these great kings. That's why I'm hiding here. We have become enemies of powerful men. We practically abandoned our royal throne. I have run away from kingly position. Oh, fine-browed lady, women are usually destined to suffer when they stay with men whose behavior is uncertain and who pursue a path not approved by society. We have no material possessions and we are dear to those who similarly have nothing. Therefore, O slender one, the wealthy hardly ever worship me. Marriage and friendship are proper between two people who are equal in terms of their wealth, birth, influence, physical appearance and capacity for good progeny, but never between a superior and an inferior. He started projecting himself as I am very inferior by caste, by wealth, by social position. இது எல்லாமே நான் ரொம்ப நீச்ச ஜாதி, என்னையே கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னு posing an amazing question after so many years of marriage and happy married life. So, oh Vaidarbhi, not being farsighted, you didn't realize this, and therefore you chose us as your husband, even though we have no good qualities and are glorified only by deluded beggars. The popular saying is that if you worship Krishna, you'll become poor. Only poor people worship Krishna. And Krishna will take away all the wealth from you. But if you worship Shiva, if you worship Devi, you will become very rich. You'll get more and more money. And nowadays people are very attracted to only material success and money. And if you tell them that this is, if you worship like this so-and-so demigod, you will get a lot of money. Even if it's not a demigod, it's some fictitious personality. If you get money, they'll do it immediately. So he's telling, why did you worship me? Because my devotees are all very poor. They don't have much money. Why is it that you married me also? You know very well about all these things. Now you should definitely accept a more suitable husband. A first-class man of the royal order who can help you achieve everything you want, both in this life and in the next. He's telling, why don't you now take a good husband? Marry somebody. In fact, he's giving soft divorce. Krishna is slowly suggesting to her, why don't you divorce me and get married to a very rich, nice fellow of the royal order. I am not of the royal order. I am from a cowherd family. I am from a Vaishya community. And we are all cowherds. And what is my, they say, you are from a very top class. You are the daughter of the king of Mithila, Vaidarbha. And you are so high class position. Why did you marry a cowherd boy like me? Kings like Sishupala, Shalva, Jarasandha and Dantavkara all hate me, O beautiful thighed one, and so does your elder brother Rukmi. It was to dispel the arrogance of these kings that I carried you away, my good woman, for they were blinded by the intoxication of power. My purpose was to curb the strength of the wicked, not actually to get married to you. I wanted to actually show them something. It is not about getting married to you. I carried you away for that purpose only, to revenge them. We care nothing for wives, children and wealth. Always satisfied within ourselves, we do not work for body and home, but like a light, we merely witness. Krishna is describing himself as God, as a supreme person, as absolute truth. I don't care for wives. Name partasi kartavyam trishulokeshu kinchana. The Lord told Arjuna, I am acting like this only. I have no work to do. I am not under any karma. Name partasi kartavyam. I don't have any duty. But still you see I am acting. Why? Because people are watching. They will do yadyad acharati sreshthas tattate vetaro janah. So although I am God, I am the Supreme Lord, still I am doing my duties. Why? Because people are watching me. He is explaining in Bhagavad Gita that I am God, Supreme, Absolute Truth, I have no duty. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate parashaya shaktir vividai vaishuyate. I have no work to do. Same thing is telling in a different way. I don't have to get married, I don't have a wife, I don't need any wives, children, wealth. I am satisfied within myself. Right? That Apta Kama, the Lord is called Apta Kama, means he gets satisfaction out of himself only. He doesn't need anything external to keep him satisfied. Apta Kama means I know how to keep myself happy. My happiness is not dependent on you and you're telling something to me. It is not dependent on me getting a good car, a house, and getting good wealth, getting good position. It is not dependent on all these things. It's dependent only on me. So for such a person like me, why I need a wife? These very harsh words. He's now saying these things. Like I told you, he's applying for divorce. So therefore I am thinking that we should separate. Shukadeva Goswami said Rukmini had thought herself especially beloved by the Lord because he never left her company. By saying these things to her, he vanquished her pride and then he stopped speaking. He told these things. And then he stopped speaking. What will happen to Rukmini? Goddess Rukmini Itri trilokesha patestadatmanah priyasya devi ashruta purvam apriyam ashrutya bhita hridijata vepatus chintam durantam rudati jagamaha. Goddess Rukmini had never before heard such unpleasantries from her beloved, the Lord of the universal rulers, and she became frightened. A tremor arose in her heart, and in terrible anxiety she began to cry. With her tender foot, effulgent with the reddish glow of her nails, she scratched the ground, and tears darkened by her eye makeup sprinkled her kunkuma reddened breasts. There she stood, face downward, her voice choked up by extreme sorrow. Rukmini's mind was overwhelmed with unhappiness, fear, and grief. A bangle slipped from her hand and her fan fell to the ground. In her bewilderment, she suddenly fainted, her hair scattering all about as her body fell to the ground like a plantain tree blown over by the wind. Rukmini fell down. What a shock! He is telling her, I think you made a mistake marrying me. You are so beautiful, so qualified, you have such a good social position. It doesn't matter, even now you can get another husband from the kingly order. I don't mind, because I am not good at all these things. But he's telling all these things after showering a lot of affection and being very close to her. It's mentioned here, he never left her side. He never left Rukmini's side. So, Rukmini, we know the history, we recollected earlier how Rukmini was kidnapped. It is not that Rukmini is a very sadhu girl who does not know anything like that. She plotted against her marriage with Shishupala. She knew very well what to do. She was a very young girl, 12 years old. And she, Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaiki, she is the one who very boldly wrote to Krishna in Dwaraka, sent a Brahmana with a letter. If you don't come and take me, I can be only your husband. If you don't come and take me now, I'll commit suicide. I'll die. I'll never become Shishupala's husband. And it's okay if I die, I will be born again and I will do tapasya life after life until you marry me. But I'll never become anybody's husband. She wrote this and sent to Krishna. And Krishna read that letter, became very pleased and immediately came in a chariot all the way to Mithila, to Vaidarbha. He came there and he carried her away and went. It's a very beautiful story. It is his first marriage. First marriage, Krishna kidnapped Rukmini. It's very interesting. It's a great love story, romantic story. And so many things happened in that. It's a very beautiful story. So after marrying her like that and living with her in Dwaraka in a fantastic palatial palace and all that, one fine day he's telling this. Why? He wants to have a little more interaction with Rukmini. Rukmini is very quiet, very satisfied, very happy and completely settled down. She is not like Satyabhama. Satyabhama is all the time asking something or other and showing dissatisfaction and asking Krishna, you did not give me that, you did this. This is right opposite. But Rukmini is very satisfied. Krishna is with me and that's all I can desire, nothing more. I just want to serve him, that's all. Very quietly she'll do her service. Even now, before this happened, some servant maid was fanning Krishna. She told Swami, you go. And she took the fan and she's fanning. That's when he is asking. After seeing her, he is asking these questions. He just wants to tease Rukmini. He wants her to get angry. He will say that later. I want you to get angry. So he was just teasing. But Rukmini took it very seriously. She thought, what is this? He's speaking like this to me after so many years of married life. He's telling, go get another husband. What a shock it'll be, all of a sudden, to hear this. And she is very simple and simply devoted to her husband. And she hears this from her husband, she gets a shocking impact. So she falls down fainted. Krishna all of a sudden gets up to, oh my gosh, I think it's an overkill. I did too much. Teasing her, I thought a little bit like this here and there. But it has become a little too much and she has taken it very seriously and fallen down. So he immediately takes Rukmini and puts her on a lap. Puts her head on her lap and then sprinkles water on her and gets her back to consciousness. And then he tells her, embraces Rukmini and says, I was just teasing you. I just, can't speak a few joking words to you or what? After all, husband and wife, what else they have? Some small little interaction. I did not mean all these things. I was just trying to tease you so that you'll become angry. And I'll see your angry face, very beautiful. I wanted to see your angry face, your lips quivering and your eyes very disturbed. And it'll become reddish and then I wanted to see you like that. That's why I said all these things. Rukmini became immediately pacified. Appa, it's not true. Why did I think like that? After getting pacified, she said, no, everything you said is correct only. Everything you said is correct only. We suddenly became very interactive. Normally she is very quiet. See, the same Rukmini came as Gadadhar in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. And Lord Chaitanya will unnecessarily tease her in order to tease him, because he will not talk anything. Very obedient, very nice, completely surrendered. But the same Satyabhama came as Jagadananda Pandit. Jagadananda Pandit was always asking for attention. I want to serve you and you must reciprocate with me and you must say it is good. I'll cook for you, you must say it is very good, very nice. Then only I'll feel happy. If I give you something, you must wear it. And he gave sandalwood oil and the Lord said, I cannot wear it. I'm a sannyasi, I cannot keep all. What is this? Jagadananda Pandit wants me to do all these things. And then Jagadananda Pandit will come and hear that Lord Chaitanya has said, sandalwood oil, tell him to go and give it to Lord Jagannath and let them burn it in nice lamps. There'll be nice smell. It's the best offering to Jagannath. What will I do with sandalwood oil? I'm a sannyasi. I cannot apply sandalwood oil. People on the road will think the sannyasi is having association with some women. He's smelling so good. They'll think like that. Horrible. I cannot do that. So tell him to go and offer Jagannath. So Jagadananda Pandit, when he heard this, he just walked into Lord Chaitanya's quarters. Went right inside. Took that big pot he had gifted. It was kept on the shelf. He took it and bashed it and destroyed it. So many months of work of cutting sandalwood trees and getting the oil out of it. Everything he finished in one shot. Because he was very angry. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what? I have made sandalwood oil for you. You said give it to Jagannath. I don't like it. And he went and let it not be for anybody. He broke it. This is Satyabhama's mood. Jagadananda Pandit. So Rukmini is very soft, quiet and very satisfied and happy and not demanding anything. Therefore Krishna wants to tease her. Hare, say something, get angry, talk something. So he said all these things. But she took it very seriously and fell down. And now he comforted her. After he comforted her, Rukmini came back to form. I'll tell you who I am actually. Actually, everything you said is correct. And she will give amazing logical reasoning, shastric reasoning, scientific reasoning to prove that what you said is correct in a completely different angle. You're correct. You're absolutely right. And she will give arguments. Those arguments are very nice. Wiping her tear-filled eyes and her breasts, which were stained by tears of grief, the Supreme Lord, the goal of his devotees, embraced his chaste wife, who desired nothing but him. O king, expert in the art of pacification, Sri Krishna tenderly consoled pitiable Rukmini, whose mind was bewildered by his clever joking and who did not deserve to suffer so. So, Rukmini will start speaking. Rukmini uvacha nanve evam yetat aravinda vilochanaha yadvai bhavan bhagavato asadrishi vibhumana kvasve mahimni abhirato bhagavam striyadhishah kvaham guna prakritir agnyagrihi tapada. Sri Rukmini said, actually what you have said is true, O lotus-eyed one. I am indeed unsuitable for the almighty personality of Godhead. What comparison is there between that Supreme Lord who is the master of the three primal deities and who delights in his own glory, and myself, a woman of mundane qualities whose feet are grasped by fools? Lakshmi is worshipped by foolish people who ask her wealth all the time. Right? So she's saying, what have I got? I am a nobody. And you have lent yourself to me. It is correct. I am not a match for you. I am very low class. You are the Supreme Lord. Yes, my Lord Urukrama, you lay down within the ocean as if afraid of the material modes. And thus in pure consciousness you appear within the heart as the super soul. You are always battling against the foolish material senses. And indeed, even your servants reject the privilege of royal dominion, which leads to the blindness of ignorance. This way, Rukmini will describe Krishna as a person who is the supreme absolute truth, who is God, who is the mover of everything, the owner of everything, and who is a controller of anybody and everybody. So, you possess nothing because there is nothing beyond you. Even the great enjoyers of tribute, Brahma and other demigods, pay tribute to you. Those who are blinded by their wealth and absorbed in gratifying their senses do not recognize you in the form of death. But to the gods, the enjoyers of tribute, you are the most dear as they are to you. This way Rukmini will turn around and prove that everything that Krishna said is correct. Because Krishna said, only beggars worship me. Yeah, your beggars don't need anything. They don't have anything. But they have you. In this way they are the richest people. Because you are very inclined to your devotees. They may be beggars according to material estimation. But they have you. Right? Tvam akinchana gochara. They have you, and therefore they are the richest. To the world, they may be beggars, that they don't have any wealth. In this way, Rukmini will very nicely present supporting Krishna's words and give a pure logic. So, here is a greatness of Rukmini. There is mentioned that Rukmini was very devoted, very patient, and right from the beginning she exhibited these qualities. Her brother Rukmi, although he decided to get her married to Shishupala, he was an enemy of Krishna. He had very asuric type of a mentality and attitude towards Krishna. So, Rukmini, she knows this, and she called for Krishna, and Krishna is taking her and going. And Rukmi is highly insulted, and he comes behind Krishna chasing him. And Krishna catches hold of Rukmi from his chariot, defeats him, and is ready to kill him. At that time, she does not know what to tell. In front of my eyes, my husband, who has carried me away, he's going to kill my brother. And I have to watch this and keep quiet. So she was in a very difficult position. And luckily, Balaram, he was chasing and coming behind and protecting Krishna. because he was kidnapping, and all the other kings he defeated, and he came behind. At that time when he saw that Krishna is ready to chop off the head of Rukmi, he stopped and he saw Rukmini is very disturbed. In front of my eyes, he is killing my brother. But all this Krishna did all this unnecessarily actually to agitate Rukmini. Then also, Balaram came and told to Krishna, cannot do this. She's standing there, brother, you're killing your brother in front of her and you're kidnapping her. You're going to get married to her. She's your wife and you're killing the wife's brother right in front of her. What type of thing are you doing? He chastised Krishna to put on the sword. Don't do this. So elder brother is saying, so Krishna gave up the sword. Instead, he told Rukmi, you challenged me, you came to kill me and take back your sister. It didn't happen. As a true Kshatriya, you should accept defeat. Something I should do to you. So he shaved off half his mush, shaved off half his hair, insulted him, did a lot of things to him and left him. It's mentioned that Rukmi could not go back, was so badly insulted. And Rukmi had promised them, unless I come back with my sister, I shall not come back to this kingdom at all. He had made a vow like that, foolishly. And now he got defeated by Krishna. And his life was saved by Balarama. And it seems there only he established a village and stayed there only, in a place called Bhogatta. And he could not go back because he gave word that I will not come back if I don't bring her. So he decided that I'll stay here only and I'll still get my sister back, which he never got. So insulted. But the same Rukmi, protected by Balarama, saved by Balarama, will be killed by Balarama only. In the marriage of Usha and Aniruddha. In the marriage of Usha and Aniruddha means what? Pradyumna is the son of Rukmini. Pradyumna's son is Aniruddha. And he is getting married to Usha. Usha is the daughter of Bhaumasura. And that's another wonderful story. So Rukmini's grandson's wedding, at that time, her brother will be killed by Balaram. Previously, when she was kidnapped, Balaram saved Rukmi from dying in the hands of Krishna. But in Krishna's great-grandson's wedding, so how long? Must be so much, 2 generations later. Krishna's great-grandson's wedding, they are playing dice. Balaram is playing dice with Rukmi and with the Kashi Raja and with some other kings who are all against Krishna and Balaram. And they will tease Balaram. They know that Balaram is not very good at playing dice. He is very good at teaching Gada and all that. But dice he is not good. So they purposely told him, what about a game of dice? They know he will lose. So they got him and said, we can cheat him easily. So all of them sat around and cheated him. And he was knowing something is wrong, they are cheating me. So he was betting so much of gold, this, that, everything, and he was losing it. And then Akashavani, a sound came and said, Balaram, these people are cheating you. They are actually doing this is to you. And as soon as he heard that you're cheating me, he had just kept his Gada there and he was playing dice. And Rukmi was playing dice in front. So as soon as he heard this, you're cheating me, he didn't think twice. He's Balaram. He took the Gada and bang, he hit on the head of Rukmi. Instantly Rukmi died. His whole head smashed. And it's Balaram. He was teaching Duryodhana, he is teaching Bhima, Gada, how to hold and play. And this Rukmi fellow, he played dice. He was laughing all the time and teasing him. And along with it, that Kashi Raja also was purposely showing the teeth like this to Balaram. Whenever he lost like that. He was showing his teeth and Balaram was getting very angry. Why are you doing this to me? He was showing his teeth like this. purposely showing teeth. And then he tolerated it. It's a game, no? Kshatriyas. So they'll tease each other, they'll do all that. It's all part of life. Sporting. But Balaram did not like that you're cheating me. I play the game with you, don't cheat. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. What is there? But why are you cheating me? That he did not like. So he took a gada, one shot on Rukmi's head. Rukmi died. Marriage is going on. Usha and Aniruddha marriage going on. Yajna, Homa and all going on. All the priests attending. Krishna is there. Krishna is there. Rukmini is there. Why? My great grandson is getting married. Aniruddha is getting married. Right? And here in the marriage, these two people were playing on the side. Marriage, so many things happening, little boring, let's play. They played. And he killed him. He killed Rukmini's sister, Rukmini's brother. He killed. He fell down dead, all blood. Big commotion there. Oh, my gosh. Inside the marriage, you see, he just killed who? Balaram killed Rukmi. Rukmini was very disturbed. My Pradyumna is my son. He also got lost for a long time and then he came back, Pradyumna. And now Aniruddha, his got married and his son is getting married, and there again this is happening. So Rukmini was very disturbed. But Krishna did not say a word. It is his grandson's wedding. He didn't say a word. He just told Rukmini, come and let us do our regular this thing. Don't worry about this. Then she was saying, how can I not worry about this? My brother died. My brother died. So she remembered that the same Balaram saved my brother. Now he is taking his life. And she found it very difficult to do the marriage ceremony plus look after the fact that my brother has died. Extremely challenging. And Balaram's anger was still not over. After killing Rukmi, he looked at that Kashi Raja and he said, you are smiling at me all the time, showing your teeth. So he used the gada and took off his teeth. Took off his teeth. Fast. I call him the first dentist. Adi dentist, founder Acharya, dentistry. He took off his teeth and he made him a pokavai. No teeth, Kashi Raja. No teeth. Then all the other kings, now he broke their hands, legs, everything. Rascals cheating and laughing at me. He was very angry. Balaram gets angry, nobody goes near. Even Krishna does not go near. He is angry. My brother is angry, don't go near. Then he was pacified by Krishna and all the other sages and everybody. Relax. Marriage is going on. Why did you kill? This not happen. Everything was cleaned and everything happened and he took part in the marriage. Balaram. This happened and Rukmini had to tolerate this. Who's dying? My brother is dead. Of course, he was very elderly at that time. But the Rukmi, he never lost his dirty feeling. That envious feeling towards Balaram and Krishna. So Balaram tolerated that time. I saved you once. And now you fellow cheating me. How dare you cheat me? So his temper was like, the same person who stopped Krishna is saying, don't kill, in the same Rukmini is present, Krishna is present, he killed Rukmi. All this Rukmini tolerated. She tolerated this. A part of life. I got married to this cowherd, men, and they are very powerful and they are like this, they are like that. So Rukmini was very patient, very tolerant, and very fully understanding many things that happened. Sometimes Satyabhama will accuse Krishna of certain things, but Rukmini will never complain to Krishna about anything. It's always very soothing, very pleasing, and very satisfying to Krishna. So this was a separate type of a taste that Krishna was enjoying with Rukmini. And with Satyabhama, he was enjoying something different, aggressive. And Rukmini was very. So you can see here that the same Rukmini again is being teased by Krishna. And this situation is very bad. She did not faint when she found that her brother is dead. But when she was told that you go look for another husband, I am not the right person for you, have made a mistake marrying me. So all very dead, heavy things to say. She fainted and fell down. You see, devotional service is so precious. A devotee, when his devotional service is affected, he gets the most affected. If you are a real devotee, you get most affected when your devotional service is affected, when your devotion to Krishna is affected. That is a sign of a devotee. But you may try to affect him by taking away his material wealth, his material position, his social society position and everything. He will not feel bad. It's okay. You can't affect him that way. But when you see when a person is affected because of material this thing, then you know something else also about him. So because we value service to Krishna, we value Krishna's reciprocation with us in service. That becomes most valuable. Devotional service becomes most valuable. So although my brother died, Krishna is still with me. I am still rendering service to Krishna. That is safe. That is safe. So Rukmini actually consoled herself easily and got back to devotional service. Like previously also, Rukmi was a challenge for her. And somehow Balaram came and saved, and she adjusted. And she continued her service to Krishna. So we can learn many things from this. That if you look at your devotional service materially, it's like Krishna gives a material interpretation of what Rukmini has done and is thinking. He gives a complete material interpretation. Oh, you got married to me, I'm a cowherd man. All sorts of poor people only worship me. He gives a different interpretation. If you have a material interpretation of devotional service, which normally happens if you let your mind loose, the mind has got a capacity to interpret everything in devotional service materially, which is what happens to you sometimes in wrong association. Then you will ruin your devotional service. You will ruin. That's why Krishna is speaking like this. If you want to ruin your devotional service, this is the interpretation you should have. Why did you marry me? I am a beggar, worshipped by beggars only. I have no wealth with me. I am just a vagabond. I actually don't care for you at all. I got married to so many wives, not only you. Can't you see that? I got married 16,000 wives. And I am not a person suitable for you. He speaks everything against. In the material world, you'll see each one of these things that Krishna has mentioned is one type of philosophy. And people like to hold on to that. And in this way, they rationalize not surrendering to Krishna. They'll rationalize their not surrendering to Krishna, to themselves and to the world, and form an ideology and a philosophy around it. So your mind argues against devotional service. And in company of the intelligence, it will use the intelligence to produce powerful logic to counteract your reasoning for serving Krishna. And this will be a fight inside constantly. Amazingly, in the association of devotees and due to the power of the chanting of the holy name, and because of the powerful Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, you can stay much above the arguments given by the mind. You know that the mind is suggesting these things to me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to take these things seriously. In your mind, there's always this tussle of the arguments that Krishna gives and the arguments that you give to counteract the arguments that the mind gives. No. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the absolute truth. He is not just a cowherd man. He is acting like that. Kritavan kilakarmani saharamena keshava atimartyanti bhagavan ghuda kapata manusha. Kapata manush is acting like a human being. He is falsifying himself as a human being. But he is a supreme absolute truth, Parabrahman. That you will understand from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That you will understand from Prabhupada's words. And when you hear that, that will become fortifying and re-energizing. against the argument that what, you are simply worshipping somebody. It seems he was a cowherd man and all that. How can a God be cowherd? How can God steal butter? God has got everything. Why is he stealing butter? Why is he doing this? It's all very mundane. If you go in that direction, you can become completely different. And you can get enough material to fight against and prove that Krishna is wrong, Krishna consciousness is wrong, worshipping God is wrong, nothing is reasonable. You can prove if you start thinking only through the head. If you think only through the head with your intelligence, you can defeat your own Krishna consciousness, belief and faith. But faith is not something that is coming through the intellect. Faith is coming from the heart, Prabhupada explains. So it's come out of blessing of Krishna, blessing of Vaishnavas, blessing of great acharyas. Then only that faith comes. It's not something that you can read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad and develop that faith alone. No. You can maintain that faith by reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. You can fortify and protect that faith. But that faith is coming in the association of devotees who have faith. Faith produces faith. Strong faith produces faith. It is not that any other thing produces faith, because Krishna's presence, Krishna's devotees' presence, their vibration, their devotional service, all these things induces faith. It is not only by reasoning and logic that we get faith. That we get reasoning and logic faith in order to argue against the mind's proposals. For that we need. But actually Krishna consciousness, as you can see, Rukmini will demonstrate, it's not anything to do with this logic that you said. All your arguments are actually defeatable. I will myself defeat it. I am not your devotee simply because of these arguments. I am your devotee because I know who you are. I know you are Krishna. And I sincerely want to serve you. This will come out in Rukmini's words and in Krishna's utterance also. So, in our spiritual life also, these type of things happen. We can sometimes become weak and you will get convinced by some of these arguments. Yeah, I always had this question here. What is this like this? I'm speaking this because recently this experience of a nice devotee for a long time doing some little service here, there and all that. Not very serious. At one time was very serious. Got initiated, chanting 16 rounds. And then got in the company of many people, rationalists and scientists and Mayavadis and arguments and intelligentsia and everything that he said, why is Prabhupada saying this? Why is Krishna saying this? You see, it's against the logic and the things of this world. Prabhupada is saying, Bhagavatam is saying certain things are very bad. So he got a lot of fortification and arguments against it. I said, what happened to you? I said, what happened to you? I said, what happened to you? He's asking me. I thought you were an intelligent fellow. I said, I am remaining intelligent only. I am continuing to worship Krishna. But he brought out such strong arguments that I was forced to look into the Bhagavatam and look into this thing and bring out arguments and say through logic, through science, through Shastra, that you are wrong. At that time I had very deep thinking to be done. And this person very intelligent, very powerfully intelligent. And saying it's because of this. And they are exactly these arguments that Krishna poses. So don't think this is just a conversation between Rukmini and Krishna. Krishna teased Rukmini and all. But within that teasing, there is a huge amount of lessons and learning. What Krishna is telling Rukmini, why did you marry me? Actually, your mind will say, why did you become a devotee of Krishna? It's all a waste. You are chanting Hare Krishna for so long here. What happened? Your bhakti grew? Have you become a devotee? This one question is enough to floor you. This is the type of question Krishna is asking Rukmini. Was it useful? You married me for so long, I had so many children, no? What is the use? What did you get from me? Same way, similar arguments the mind will pose. When did you start chanting Hare Krishna? 15 years. 15 years you chanted. First 2 years you chanted 4 rounds, 5 rounds. Then in the third year you took up 16 rounds because they told you to. In the fourth year you got initiated. Has anything changed because of all this? Have you got love coming out like this, and have you become a devotee with great, hair standing on end and shivering and tears coming, and all this happened to you? It's mentioned in the books, I know that. It happened to you? It didn't happen. This will not happen to you. You have been fooled. Same mantra you're chanting again and again here. Nothing is happening to you. It's all big racket. Be careful. Enough. This one argument is enough. The same thing Krishna is doing to Rukmini. And Rukmini's defense is coming from pure devotion. You must understand. It will not come by if you have read Shastra very well and you know everything very well. It will come only if you have actually understood and realized. Krishna, no chance. I have realization of it by devotional service. I don't have to, that is logically very correct. I can lose the argument with you, but I will not lose my faith. I told that person, you're very good at argument. I can agree that I lost my argument, but the argument is argument only. It will not affect my faith. I want to tell you that the argument is not able to affect my faith. Tarko apratishta vibhinashutayo nasa vrishiryasya matam nabinnam. Rukmini is coming out and saying, sorry, your argument, I will tell you in a different way, to show that it has not affected me. My devotion for you will never be affected. Externally, I lost this thing because I was afraid. I feared and all those things, fine. So similarly, we fight. These challenges will come to you throughout your life. Krishna himself will do it. Like he's doing to Rukmini, Krishna himself will send somebody and hit you. Let's see how you react to this. Are you using your devotional understanding and arguing this? Are you convincing yourself properly in the association? If you remain in the association of devotees, if you remain sincere in chanting Hare Krishna and rendering service, without getting into any wrong path, right? Even in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, you will have all sorts of devotees. It's a highly heterogeneous crowd. You will have people talking like Krishna to you while chanting Hare Krishna also. I'm chanting, but I know nothing has happened till now. I have no faith. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. They'll chant also and tell you this also. You'll get these two people also. And you'll get people who give a wonderful class and after that speak something different. How did you give such a good class and speak this different? Class to hum denge yaar. But this is a big problem for me. Faith inside. So don't think these conversations are just pointing at something. They're pointing at this only. That although you may be so great, unless you have Krishna's blessings, you never really get that full feeling, completeness. Unless you have Vaishnava's blessings, Guru's blessings, Krishna's blessings, you'll not become complete in your faith. Completion in faith comes when Krishna has blessed you. And come what may, I cannot be shaken from devotional service. So these arguments, if you read in that light, what Krishna is telling, you will see that, this is what my mind tells me. This is what that fellow tells me. This is what this person tells me. This argument is given. You can read all the arguments that attack you. Here is an attack on Rukmini by Krishna only. Krishna's material energy will attack you so that you will become stronger. This is how Krishna uses material energy against devotees. To make their Krishna consciousness more firm. With those who are not devotees, material energy will completely control them and totally illusion them and make them totally forget everything. But those who are devotees, Krishna will use his material energy to increase their devotion, increase their commitment by challenges posed to them. So the more material energy poses challenges, the more they become determined and more become stronger in Krishna consciousness. That's mentioned in many places in the Bhagavatam. Right? Great devotees, even Narada Muni, like I told you, was testing Dhruva, telling that better you go home. Home is comfortable, your mother is there, nice prasadam food you will get. Why are you using life in the forest is very difficult. Nobody is there to cook for you. Your mother cook and bring nice affectionately, say, where is my son, give you a kiss, and then, put you on the same, feed you nicely, and you'll become a fat, chubby kid at home, rolling on the floor. So nice it is. Why are you leaving all that and coming to the forest? You have to feed on leaves, roots, berries. And you have to take cold water bath in the cold season in the pond, in the river. And you have to build your own shelter under the trees. How horrible. Go back home. He told to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj said, I did not come all the way here to go back home. I left home not to go back home. I want to see the Lord and ask him this question. Then only I am going back. So even Narada Muni tested Dhruva. Krishna is testing Rukmini. Sari, let us see how deep is your love for me. He's testing. And then he understands that, my gosh, I made a mistake. First he understands I made a mistake. Second, after he hears Rukmini, he understands she has not only, duty and other things in the outside, she's also very deep in her understanding of Krishna consciousness. So devotees by devotional service increase their faith, ruchi, taste, their commitment, and they blossom in love of Krishna. It's a completely different path. It's not to be judged in any way materially at all. What you should not do, Krishna is doing and showing to Rukmini as an example. Don't do this to your devotional life. Don't ask yourself all mundane material questions which cannot be answered from that platform. So these are very nice illustration. We don't have much time to read everything together. Many of you have to return to chanting. If you don't, then you will at least fall asleep. So therefore, better you chant Hare Krishna. We should read these things in a scrutinizing way and understand. These leelas, each one of them, have not only pleasure when we hear the story, they also have a deep philosophical component, and they also have important instructions from a deep side for devotional service that we perform. It's very encouraging to see how Rukmini fights Krishna's statements by upholding Krishna as the supreme absolute truth, as my only shelter, as everything for me. So when you actually use Krishna consciousness and use the Shastra and fight and position yourself in devotional service correctly, then you will know that you have been victorious over the test given by Krishna. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaur Premanande. Any question or comment? Hare Krishna.